Hi, everyone. So I've got a bit of a cold, so don't mind my voice. I'm taking it easy this week. I'm not going to be posting too much. But DRG posted this image, and of course, I can't stop looking at it. There's so much wrong with it that I thought we'd just look at it a little bit more. So, as TRG points out here, um, fake picture of Megan being a Girl Scout or a brownie. The cookie box was from the 80s, or this cookie box did not exist in the 80s era. So she looked up the cookie boxes and figured out that this was not from the 80s. So that's one indication. But of course, I focus more on the body, on the hair. And when you zoom into the hair, you can see there's like two different colors going on. First off, this black looking center here, and then the rest is like a medium brown. And the hair is most definitely what I call white girl hair or Hispanic or Asian, whatever. It's straight hair, and it's not what Megalodon allegedly had. She had very kinky hair, very curly hair. This is not her hair. So this is not Megalodon. What they've done a lot, of course, is to Photoshop her face onto another child. And the face is very bizarre looking with the lighting there on the forehead. Uh, doesn't make any sense. The shading there's a lot of blotches on there that don't make sense. Blotching on the right hand side by the cheek. Shading is completely off. And so is the body. I should say the body proportions are wrong. And there's certain proportions that every human body has that does not fit in this picture. And first of all, the width of her arms here, number one, are thicker than her calves. And that can't be. It just doesn't happen that way. Now, the story we've been given about Megalodon is she was born in 1981, I think. We all know it's a lie, but whatever. If she's born 1981, you're a Girl Scout, or a brownie, excuse me, from first to third grade. That's like 6 to 8. So it would have been late 80s, right? The uniform, I guess, passes for the most part, but the body proportions do not. And you can compare it to an actual child in the uniform to see quite clearly that uh, they screwed up this picture of Megan. First of all, the head is on the Megan picture is too large for the body. And besides the arms being too large, and also the length of the torso to, the hips, wherever they're supposed to be, in the thighs. It's the skirt. The whole thing is too long, and the body is too long. It's out of proportion. Um, Not adding up. Also, if you zoom in, I mean, there's so much wrong. You can see trying to look for the shoulders here. Looking at the shoulders of the Megalodon picture. Another thing that's off is, it's very a lot of the shading and the lighting are shading under the box is too dark down there. It's just black, but you can see a badge. Right, there's this badge sticking up in the darkness there of this very black shadow. Well, how is that happening? If it's that dark shadowed under there, you're not going to see a white badge sticking out. So that doesn't match either. So the shadowing is too contrasted. And as well as, of course, every single picture that the intelligence brings out of Megan's alleged childhood, they're always very pixelated and blurry and out of focus. And this is supposed to be late 80s. You get much better pictures than this. But also the shoulders. Now, focusing on the shoulders for a second. To our left or her right shoulder, you see the thing hanging off. What is that? The sash. So you can see the shoulders right about up to her, fingers on top there. But when you look across look for the other shoulder, there's nothing there because it's tilted down. Right. So we have very tilted shoulders to our looking at left to right from our perspective. High on the left where the sash is hanging, the low on the right hidden behind the box. So there's an angle there. Now, you can stand in front of a mirror and hold up your arms bent at the elbow like this and tilt your shoulders, and you'll see that where the shoulders are tilted, so will the elbows be tilted. So what I mean by that, just to illustrate, is if this one shoulder is right here at this level, and the other one down here is, and you can see the kind of the corner of the shoulder over here a little bit. So you've got an angle like this. It's kind of a sloppy, but I don't have a way of doing it straight. But it's like that. So therefore, the the elbows are also gonna have to have that same angle, and because we're proportional that way with the shoulders to the elbows, but we don't have that here. Instead, her elbows are, you know, there's like a slight tilt, very slight, but it looks much more of a tilt on top, so it doesn't line up. So it's uh, you can see it's not adding up. This whole picture is a mess from beginning to end. So you've got the white girl hair, you've got the huge arms. Now look at the arms of the girl on the right, the lower her arm compared to her calves, right? Both all the girls, the arms are always thinner than the calves. In Megan's picture, her arms are really thick and the calves are thin. Her arms are actually thicker than her calves. And the calves, and she's wearing thick socks. In the Megan picture, she's wearing thick brown socks and they're still smaller than her arms. So it just shows that they photoshopped Megan's face onto this and the arms onto it. This whole thing is photoshopped. And as TRG points out, the box as well is not from that era. And the brownie uniform that Megan's wearing is too long. Right? I mean, look how long it looks, like a long dress on Megan. And the uniform goes above the knee. It's a much shorter skirt. And so it's a completely wrong on so many levels. So here's the 1986 uniform, which will be about when Megan got it again. Very short skirt. Girl's arm is thinner than the thigh. And the proportions are entirely different than what Megan's wearing, although it looks similar. You can go back over history and see all their uniforms and badges. I'm just focusing on Megan's portions being so off. Okay, again, back to this one. Same thing. It's a short skirt. I mean, it goes above the knee. And Megan, I don't know what Megan's wearing there, or they're having her wear. It's completely off in so many ways. The picture, what they did to it there. The sash, goes down lower on the skirts, and Megan's sash is like much higher up there. A very long dress, baggy looking dress there. It does not match at all. And look how low the pocket is on Megan's dress there. It's like way down there. Whereas if you look at the picture on the right for 1990s, okay, this is 1992 looking uniform, the pocket's up high. So, and before this, the 1986 version. Go back up there for a second, look at the pocket again. Scroll up. Is that 1980? Okay, this is 1980s right here. They used to have the round pocket before that. So this is like an early 80s, I think. 84. Okay, this is 84. Okay, this is 86. So again, this is what Megan would have been wearing, like this uniform here. And you can see how high the pocket is up on the skirt. Short skirt, pocket up high near the waist. And that's definitely not what Megalodon is wearing in this picture. So it looks like they stretched down the pocket. They pulled down the waist there for some reason. So just compare the head of the child on the right to her body versus the picture is supposed to be Megan on the left and the body. And length of the dress, pocket placement wrong, um, arms too large, the S-shaped stance, like she's not standing up and down. She seems to be like the torso is to the right while the hips are to the left. It's off center. There's also like a huge indent in the skirt, like as if there's this huge amount of material there. Very dark shading, a little too dark there. That also does not match the actual uniform and how it would fit. There's not that much material in the actual uniform that would cause it to indent like that. I mean, it just it looks like the way the shading looks as if this huge indent, like as if there's all this material in there. So it's a very dark shading, like somebody just filled it in with black or contrasted it too much. And again, under the box, that's way too black. Underneath, this whole it's like they're trying to black out something here. They didn't want people to see. And it like the uniform's completely wrong. It looks fake. It's not an actual brownie uniform, or just a really bad photoshopping here. Don't know what they're trying to do here, but again, this on the right, this uniform is the one that she would be wearing. This came out in 1986, so this would have been in the style. It didn't change again until 1990, I guess. So, yeah, her uniform does not match at all. And another thing you could mention is the hat, the way the hat fits on the girl on top. It's a rather smaller hat, kind of snug on the head. While the one Megalodon's wearing looks huge. It like bulges over on the side, covering the side of the head here, which doesn't make any sense. I don't think that the way the hat is shaped, it's like a bowl, right? It's like a bowl on the head. It doesn't cover up the side. And they even have an illustration for how the hat fits. It's a smaller hat. I mean, as you can see, the hat sort of has a ring around it that keeps it it's like a beanie. It's like a large beanie or something. So that's not whatever's on the head of this photoshopped image. And also another aspect of this whole movie idea that Harry and Meghan are doing. I've covered in the past how Megalodon is, in my opinion, M to F. Not just my opinion, from looking at different features or biomarkers. And it's not uncommon for the Luciferians of Hollywood, Meghan is closely aligned with, to use children who are also, they're crossing the genders. They're having little boys pretend to be girls in there to distort people's reality when they're watching these movies. Because, no one's going to say anything about a child, right? It would look cruel picking on a child. But the fact remains that they do this M to F, F to M thing, and they do enjoy doing it with children. And for example, just looking at the shoulder hip ratio of some of the individuals in this photo, it's questionable. Let's put it that way. When you take a closer look, and it wouldn't surprise me if a Luciferian like so-called Meghan Markle, they told us her name is, and her group would, it's not surprising that they would do that with this film. So don't be surprised that in order to distort, because this has been going on for decades, right? They will put in little boys pretending to and portray them as girls. So just look out for that one. Because the Satanists are going after the children, right? They're always after the children and like to abuse them. That's why we've got the trafficking issues and whatever else. So now I did a search because I was looking to compare, a girl's body to that picture of Meghan to show how distorted it is. And I came across like this free pic site And as I was looking through the photos, just trying to find an image to make a comparison, I noticed, well, what you would expect. First of all, I've noticed that when you're looking through free images of Pixabay or wherever, don't be so certain that what's being portrayed as a woman or even a girl is necessarily a woman or a girl. Could be an MTF. And if you're familiar with the Luciferian hand gestures, you'll find quite a few in these images. And not just once, but again and again. Okay. And it ceases to be a coincidence when you see different ones over and over. Sticking the tongue out is another one Megalodon likes to do. That is indeed one of their symbols. Again and again. There's also a lot of the one eye symbolism, where either they're blinking, or winking, or covering an eye. And a lot of the shush pictures as well, which Meghan has done with Harry with children. The OK symbol is also known as the 6661 as well. There's a combination of the one eye and shush. I'm just saying, you see it again and again. It's those same hand gestures. So it's something to look out for because they do like to use children. Because, of course, I'm sure you've seen these with various images with the Hollywood actors and actresses doing the same things. And another Masonic Luciferian hand under the jacket, one hand hidden. Prince Harry likes to do. He did it during the engagement photo with Megalodon. Just a whole lot of deception going on with the likes of Megalodon and her crew. So I hope you found this interesting. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.